wanted to show you about the typical GM 4L60E and some 4L80E shifter cables. This is a 95 Silverado Z71. As you can see, you can hit the brake to release the parking mechanism, and as you can see, it won't go into drive, it won't go into low one, doesn't do anything. So I first anticipated that it was going to be a cable issue. This truck also has some other issues with it too, but need to be able to get it into drive. So typically what you're going to do is you're going to go underneath the dash. There's going to be a plate here you need to remove, as well as the whole dash plate, which is just a few screws and some snaps, and remove the parking brake release mechanism. I don't know if you guys can see it. There is two pieces that are just held on by nylon bushing. This is the gear selector switch. It tells the computer what range it's in. It's a range selector switch basically. There's this one that actually goes down to the transmission. It just goes underneath the floor mat, underneath the seat, underneath the carpeting. Actually see it goes in here, and you can see the cable here. That's the cable right in there. You can see it. Here's a brake here. It goes through a grommet in the floor, somewhere right in here, and down to the transmission. Here's the cable again. Where it's actually broken at is actually not an area that I'm typically used to seeing. Here it is. This is actually the metal bands of the cable hanging through. To get this off, you just simply pull this off. It literally just unhooks. It's just a nylon bushing in there. You can use a screwdriver. There's a little metal staple that's going to be in here. I've already removed it. You just take a screwdriver and pull it out, and these two little tabs, you push them in and you push the cable through. Now this particular model, being a 95, doesn't have the two little hooks that it weaves through. And some of the newer ones do that. Here's a locking tab it goes through, and like I said, you just simply remove the carpeting, and it goes underneath the carpet, underneath the seat, underneath the truck. You can see underneath the truck, you can see the cable, which I've also already pulled. It's also only held on by nylon bushing. This will attach to the transmission. You just pull this off with a screwdriver. There will be another plastic tab. You simply push this in, and it pushes through. Then there is a rubber grommet. You just use a screwdriver and pull that out, and that's the one that goes underneath the seat. It does on the 95s. It just simply comes through the floor pan and down to the transmission. There's another range selector switch on the 4L60E. If you can go underneath the truck and shift this manually. I use the e-brake to hold the truck still when you're going into any forward or reverse gears. And it will change on the dashboard when you move this shifter lever. Think that this is the lower range selector switch. And be careful that this is your front drive shaft on 4-wheel drives. That when you replace this doesn't get bound up on this. Just be careful how these are run. Some of the newer vehicles, the cable runs up and over the transfer case and through the grommet in the floor. They're a little bit more difficult, take a little bit more time to do it, but it's pretty much the same idea. I also recommend using a genuine AC Delco cable. They do sell El Cheapo cables, $18, $20 cables. They look just like the AC Delco cables, but the problem is you can't get these things in the low 1 or low 2. They don't line up right. So spend a little bit extra money. I got mine on Rock Auto for $59. So you spend $60, $70 on a cable, and it'll work for you. It'll last. Well, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. They are it is a well-known issue. So what happens is the only thing with this cable is it's just a rubber or plastic casing with a very thick metal cable inside of it, and when it's pushing and pulling, as you can see, this is actually completely broken off the end. I didn't even know that. But it's pushing and pulling inside that cable, and there's nothing holding it back. It's just trying to push right through the plastic casing. Like I said, this one, I've never seen one split here. That is an odd spot for it to split, as you can see, and break off the rod. Normally they split either somewhere in here or at that rubber grommet. If you're out rodding on the truck, beating on the truck a little bit, they can get some mud. They can get mud in here where it goes at the shifter and pop off, but a lot of times it's an actual broken cable. So hope this video helps you guys. Like I said, I got my replacement cable on Rock Auto. It'll be here in a couple of days. I'll probably do an installation video when it comes in to show the actual steps on how to replace it. But like I said, this is a common issue, unfortunately. But it's an easy fix, and it should last many more years. All right, thanks for watching, guys.